I'm home now from the hospital. Um, so my blood cultures were positive, but my line culture was negative. Although there's a little nuance to that. I think I had received one dose of antibiotic before they tested my line, but that's because we couldn't get any blood back. So I truly wonder if it was not infected, but then I don't imagine one course of an antibiotic would have killed it. So I think I'm going to be doing a 14-day course of antibiotic. They gave me some to come home. But this hospitalization is one of the most emotional one I've had. I pretty much cried every day. Um, Everybody was excellent, and that was the problem. The doctors were very kind, but then they were very honest with me about my situation. So I didn't only go in there for infection, I also went because I wasn't eating and I had lost a lot of weight. And I wasn't processing my food at all. My dietitian had suggested that I might have to do TPN. And that's when they feed you through your veins, right? The TPN mostly goes through a central line. And or I could do PPN. It gives me barely gives me the nutrients that I need, but it's a bridge until we can figure out what's going on with my tube or give me medication to, kickstart my stomach. However, the attendant at the hospital was like, no. He said, absolutely not. I'm not a candidate for TPN or PPN. So that kind of crashed me. He's like, I can't endorse it. I had messaged my immunologist too, and she said the same thing. She's like, listen, if you can get your tube to work, get it to work. No TPN. I was like, well, what about PPN? She's like, if you cannot find any other means, then go ahead and do the PPN. So it wasn't until the third day I talked to the infectious disease doctor and I mentioned it, and she said, no, absolutely not. I was like, everyone had said it was because of my history of infection, right? But no one really went into detail to explain it to me. So she said to me, think about it. You can't fight off infection. You're always in the hospital for infections. And we are literally going to put food through your veins, sugar or whatever else we put through your veins. She said that even for a normal healthy person, it's still high risk. She said for you, it's not high risk. It's just a matter of time to counting down the days. She said you're not going to survive it. So she said, one of the things that happens is that not only do people get an infection, but they can get a fungal infection in their bloodstream. A fungal infection is extremely difficult to treat. The mortality rate is very, very high. Hearing that, it broke my heart. I didn't want the TPN anyway. I was willing to try the PPN. All I knew is that my doctor said no. Every single specialist I had said no, right? So that was very sobering. I appreciate them telling me that, right? They didn't just say no and walk away. Especially my infectious disease doctor. She was so kind, and she went into it and she explained everything to me. So the realization that my feeding tube is really the last effort to try and feed me was very painful. I was just heartbroken the whole time. So anyway, I got the medication that I need. I'm taking it. I'm able to run my feed. although it's only at 20 mLs per hour. My goal is to continue to optimize everything I can in order for the feed to work. So I'm home now. I feel a lot better. My feed worked all night. I had very low residual. They changed my my button, my Mickey button, because it was leaking. So everyone was just kind. I'm happy to be home. I wish I could I want to say I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm being told like that I'm not necessarily doing anything wrong to get these infections. I'm very meticulous, right? Cover it, you know, use sterile gloves when I'm changing or whatnot. So this bacteria that I got this time, it naturally lives on our skin, right? But unfortunately, it got into my bloodstream and I couldn't fight it. I can't fight it without antibiotics. You want to know what's sad? I've come to settle with myself that I'm going to be in a hospital like every 6 weeks to every 2 months. I think it's about time to be honest with myself. Unfortunately. But I hope to get stronger where I don't need the central line and I don't need as much fluids at home or fluids at all at home or IV push medications or continuous Benadryl drip. I think that's a really far reach, but a girl can dream. So anyway, one day at a time. If the time does come up that I have to go, I'll go. Although I don't like it. But I am very happy to be home right now. I miss my little Twinkie. I miss the kids. I'm surprised they didn't rush out here yet. They're probably trying to clean up. I get to sleep with my family tonight. That's the babies. Okay. Bye.